What is up, everybody? We're gonna go ahead and throw another series out there. Cause, well, I can. So, we have KCA versus Cal Poly. And as you can see, we're kind of already in the middle of the draft. I want to at least get this started while I was updating everything. So, that was our previous match. Let's go to this one. So yeah, we've got two teams that are battling for. I don't want to jinx it if they aren't. This is two teams battling for their first win out of Group B. So let's see if one of these teams can start to make a little push to the playoffs here. So let's, now that I've got everything kind of posted, let's take a look at these drafts a little bit. Cal Poly with coming out with the You Will Not Die duo of Zilly and Kindred. I'm afraid that they're going to be slightly a little low on damage, but it is with a Jinx. So that is pretty helpful once Jinx gets scaled up. So we do see the mid laners getting attacked quite a bit here. As they end up taking 4 of the bans, I kind of still consider Corki a mid laner. But KCA coming in with a very dive oriented comp, Kaisa, Alistar, Jarvan here. And then we see KCA grab the Victor here, which I think is really nice. Victor ult can definitely force Kindred, Zillion to use their ults pretty early, for the most part. So we'll see how this one ends up going. But we do see picks like the Orianna, the Nico still being up for Gojo, and actually, okay, is this another Oh my god, this is the Jinx Kindred 2 carry comp, and another Zillion mid. So I guess the theme of the day is Zillion mids. I mean, I don't know where all this came from. I love this York pick if this goes through. I absolutely love this York pick just because Shen has to respond to team fights, and York just takes absolutely everything. This is the goaded spot for York here. I think this absolutely wins the draft for KCA as long as they don't keep picking fights. Victor has enough wave clear. Zillion has respectable wave clear. But I think you're now lobbying into too much of a protected Jinx comp that if Kindred and or Jinx end up getting taken out after you're burning all of these ults, or if you don't time up the ults, because I just see a world where Jinx gets jumped on by Alistar Jarvan, and then next thing you know, it's Zillion ult plus Shen ult, and then when it expires, then it's Kindred ult. The overlay to pull off this kind of comp has got to be at a very, very highly practiced level. But again, if Shen ever leaves this top lane to reactionary ult to a fight, then Yorick just absolutely sprints it down to towers really heavily. So I love this 4-man core off KCA. I love what Cal Poly's drafted as well. But man, this York is a wild card. This might be the first time a 1-4 split push comp was picked in a really, really great spot.
badge and rifle as well?
So we'll see how this ends up going here. Uh,
They cannot understand.
let me see. We do have some lively things in the chat. Calico, welcome back here. Congrats on the win. Uh, Jubilatory, I see you in the chat here during this draft here. Yeah, this Jinx better carry. I would hope you carry. They've put all the eggs in yours and Gyarados' basket here. So we'll see how this one goes. This is actually a very interesting draft. And considering I just watched the Scorch series, that's saying something. So we'll just sit here and wait on the spectator delay here. I'll get caught up on a few things. There is a boatload of action tonight, so. Alright, now that I'm caught back up on everything, we are loading in game. I got the chat on the second monitor. We are ready to rock and roll. See which team picks up their first dub for the split here. So Cal Poly is a returning team, I believe, with the fuck off. Couldn't download spectator data. Okay, let's try that again. I got small indie accompanied by Riot. Come on, client. So spectator crashed. There we go. We might be a couple minutes behind on the start of this, but Riot will not stop me. Don't no one ask him to try, please, because they could. Come on. You can do it, client. There we go. Actually, I got it from 0, so maybe somebody had a hard time. Either way. Oh, okay. Campbell and Biba. We're already goated. Best skin in the game. You know, Cowbell, Alistar. We got a lot of, actually, April Fool's skins in here. You got Gyarados pulling one out. You got Yorick pulling one out. Got a pause going on. Here I am. I try to come and do a surprise cast. Spectator crashes on me. Now these guys are pausing. Oh. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Hopefully, here we go.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright. So, we've got KCA, I'll say the full name if they win, on the red side, and Cal Poly Division 2 on the blue side here. Alrighty. Gojo and Gyarados getting a little bit of showing a little love to XD. Let's see. We're gonna get a shiny Gyarados, or we're gonna get a Mega Gyarados. Let's see what kind of Gyarados we get here. Start off with no pots as well. So let's see if Zillion can go 2-0 for the day here in the mid lane. So lots of poke and zoning off this bot lane so far here. Level 2 coming out for the Cal Poly bot lane, so they have a really solid advantage starting off here. But we do have Cowbell, so bot lane doing their best here. They're getting a little poked out. You know, Shen ends up getting hit by the E, so he's going to take a little bit of damage here. I mean, Yorick does need a little bit of time to scale, but overall, I really do like this pick if it gets off the ground. We see a triple tonic coming out of eyeglasses here. And Victor ends up getting the stun overall, so decent trade here. Eyeglass going to start playing the mini game of how many E's can I dodge against this York. Gojo taking a lot of punishment here. Does get stunned here. See, okay, so Victor didn't have the cooldowns to commit to it, but he definitely could have burned Flash. I felt like if he pats upward, pelts him with autos until cooldowns come up. But you see Eyeglasses going in for a trade here. So York falling quite a bit of ways behind here. But still CSing pretty solid. Can't complain here. Gyarados has the Kindred mark on this top scuttle, so he's going to get one mark here. We do see XDD posturing for a potential gank mid. Eyeglasses is starting to push that in a little bit. No, I think he's just feathering the wave out. Potentially could have been a dive here top side. Though I think they go 1-for-1 and York's perfectly okay with that. So I just want to see a lot of like coordination come out of this KCA lineup. Like I know they've been working really hard, been active in the scrim room. See, Eyeglasses getting again another solid trade in on this York. Now we see Gyarados coming up here. Nice flash overall here. Nice first blood, honestly. And a really good clean dive coming out of Cal Poly here. So overall, really good early game coming out of Cal Poly here. They're up about 800 gold, mainly from the laning phase, but they get a nice, decent 400 gold off the first blood. So don't get 400 for first blood. That is correct, actually. You are correct. Sorry, it's so ingrained in my head about that. Nope. I got changed over when they did feats, if I remember correctly. So, we do see XDD in his bot lane here. I think he feels like that Pixel Brush is warded, but it is not. I do like Gyarados trying to protect his bot side, knowing that they're going to get pushed in. See if Cal Poly uses this to go after this first dragon here. I mean, Golden Sunset and Amoeba has been pushed in most of this laning phase, but they're still like putting up a fight in the CSing side. Gojo just taking a lot of abuse from this Victor. Hasn't translated to a CS lead. I like the ult here from Victor to force him on a reset. And actually, I think if he pushes this wave... Oh, well, no, we got a little bit of fighting here. Oh, and Eyeglass is taking a boatload of punishment from the maiden here. You were very happy brawling in this lane, and now it's 2v1. Whoa! What is this out of Eyeglass? Is this a blasting wand? Are we going Malignants on Shen here? Okay. I love the rotation by Amoeba up to these grubs. This is absolutely what you want to take. Don't even care how many dragons you give. Get 3 grubs for this York and just let him split push to infinity. Team comp is Jinx and 4 ways to keep Jinx alive. Yes, absolutely. My this is either going to be like one of the greatest team comps to like ever visually watch or play as if you're jubilatory. This could also go south in an instant if they all use the revive abilities on Jinx. Like, if this is Shen ult in the middle of a Kindred ult with Zillion ult on, this is going to be a really feels bad moment. But Gyarados uses this opportunity to get Dragon here. And they're doing a really good job chipping away at this bot lane turret, which I think you're still perfectly fine to trade with. I know you're up about 1,600. Oh, nice stun. You're up about 1,600 gold here, but you're just setting up your win con. You're investing into this York. I'm still thrown off by this blasting wand. Dark Seal blasting wand at that. Like, this is not a, hey, I'm eventually going to spec into it. But it looks like Gojo's having a little bit of issues here on his PC, which I can 100% relate to. Alright, looks like we have an R posted, so here we go. Oh, God, don't do this to me again. Riot. Damn it, Riot. I can go a whole split without the spectator dying. Twice it dies. The same game. Not even same series, same game. Try to do a nice. Alright. We didn't miss anything. Well, I say that, and we're starting to see something.
I am good.
Alright, we're good. Alright. Let's see. We got a little bit of posturing here in this bot side jungle. Everybody's starting to become level 6, so like at some point you're gonna have to fight this Jinx comp, even though it's just just Jinx is never gonna die. But you still have to pressure it. But I think you need to wait until the 4-1 starts to happen more, because Victor I think is the big catalyst for forcing a lot of these revive abilities out. Okay. Rod of Ages on Shen. What the absolute hell? This even got nerfed. Okay. I I have no I don't know. I need Dippy, I need Vic, I need somebody to like just tell me what the hell is this shit? Rod of Ages Shin. I yeah. Where do we go here? Aries in the chat? We're going on to game 3. Alright. Yeah. Well, I ask and I shall receive, and everybody is not happy with this row of first item. Oh, Dippy going to game 3. Sweet. We will probably cover that tomorrow. Luden's Echo. You know what? I will give you that. Luden's Echo might be the worst item on Shen. But this Roa, I don't even know where to begin. Especially into a York of all things. Like, cause correct me if I'm wrong, York and Maiden damage do like percentage health. I believe they lowered it with some of the rework here, but it's like, where do you go with this? Eyeglass may find himself having to flash out of here. Gotta get the Maiden out of turret range though, but we got some posturing in the bot side here. I think at some point you gotta pull the trigger here. Oh, this Victor damage. Oh! What am I watching? Oh! And York ends up getting the kill on the Shin. So, Roa Shin, everybody. Okay, there's a flash headbutt pulverize. But we already see York just taking this full turret here. Let's see if they can continue this momentum through the top side, as this is basically their win condition. I will say, while we're definitely on this row of Shen a little bit, I'm not a big fan of this Ludens onto Victor here. I think the role you play in this team comp is wave clear, and I think double burn helps you wave clear a lot better. Again, Victor has an insane amount of wave clear already, but I think double burn allows you to just stabilize lanes a lot better. But overall, KCA having enough tempo and posture here for this first dragon. This Ocean Drake also, I think, is a pretty big pickup overall for them. It helps out York. We seen the Jinx rocket come out, and that almost looked like it stole, but XDD really, really solid with the smite there, and they get the first dragon. So oh, Victor sidestepping everything here. Oh, and the flash here. Oh, and Gyarados ends up getting that away from Victor. Definitely looks like these teams are feeling a little bit of pressure here. We've seen some flashes not go in the greatest direction here. The XDD trying to step in and get his jungle, but gets it taken away here. So, I will say, as much as I really, really love the draft of KCA, it can very easily be misplayed. You know, if York decides to just side lane when he shouldn't, or loses Maiden on something like this, I think it does. It puts a lot of pressure on Team O's to make sure he's playing these side lanes correctly. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat not interested in this row of tech here, but we'll see how this ends up going here. This is Roa into Hydra, so I'm assuming this is Titanic. If you're going Roa and the Titanic, isn't Heartsteel just better? Like, I was willing to keep an open mind on the Roa here, but now this is a touch confusing. But we do see the bot lane turret get taken here, so Jinx still getting a solid investment in gold. Jinx actually at 10 CS a minute is kind of crazy. But we do see Gyarados invading XDD here. There's going to have to be a point where KCA just pulls the trigger on a fight and sees what happened here. I know they're super nervous about all of these revive abilities, but I mean, eventually you got to fight. You got to make them use them. Like, you got to put the pressure on their comp. Ghost Freak getting jumped on here, using the gets the Shen ult here, which that shield was freaking massive. But yeah, Ghost Freak ends up firing the ult back himself here. So all in all, not terrible. Victor ult, Jarvan ult used for Shen, and Renata ult, so just straight of ults here. So let's see what happens here. I mean, KCA down just a little under 2k. They do have a dragon. They do have 3 grubs here. They do have first turret, so if KCA ends up getting 2 kills out of this next team fight, they get feats. If not, they need another dragon or a Rift Herald. Alright, this is kind of what I was afraid of, where if he doesn't side lane at the appropriate time, he can get jumped on quite a bit here. Oh, that's a lot of health. But overall, ends up getting taken out. We see the Rift Herald getting used mid here. Nice solid stomp. Shen pushing back top lane here. The Teemo, I think, is going to be able to TP to it. So we see feats of combat getting taken over to the side of Cal Poly here. Roa's going to be fully stacked up here soon for the side of Eyeglasses. And we see a fight mid lane, forcing Victor to flash here.
this world.
We do see Cal Poly picking up the second dragon here, which is a Mountain Drake. So Mountain Drake is on the table for both. We see Shin pushing back York just a little bit here. I think at some point, as inty as it feels, like you have to get synced up with Victor Jarvan and just dive their team comp, force them to play this game or get into an uncomfortable situation where they have to use these ults. Because I think you're just getting tugged around a little bit. Now I will say, like, it's not a super fast-paced tug around the map here. So Victor does have plenty of chances to scale. I think he's at all of his upgrades, correct? Yeah, he's only at one of his upgrades here. So let's see what happens here. So we'll see what the wait. The Forbidden Idol? Okay. The Redemption? Okay. Redemption, yeah. I mean, I've seen Redemption Shen before. I've seen, like, the supportive style Shen from top lane before. That's not the most egregious. I also, thinking about how they need to stall this game out a little bit, I do think, like, a static Kaisa would have been fairly usable here as well. So, we do see Shurelya's coming out of Zillion as well.
I should perform your right.
We do see a fight coming out here. Gojo pops the ult, so really well done forcing him out without committing on the Jarvan, but then your main carry in his 4-1 Victor got just taken out here. So we see Shadow Flame. See, like, I love the Victor as a champion in this comp, but I don't necessarily think the build is the greatest. Like, I think you definitely need double burn. But we'll see how this works. He does have feats of strength, so the upgraded feet boots will give him a little bit of spell pin as well. So I like that. See Seabass kind of joining the chat here. Kind of seeing what everybody else was seeing as a Roa Redemption Shen. Could hit level 16 faster. See, that's the thing, is I don't think Roa actually gives you a level. It just gives you an ability point. So if you're not 16 or above, you can't put a point in ult. I think? I don't know. I never got Roa that late to see. Okay. I mean, I could be 100% wrong. I'm not... It does give an entire level? Okay. Okay. I can definitely 100% see that. Reaching max X gains a level. Okay, that's fair. And I play Anivia. You think I should have known that. So. But this is an absolute... oh, nice hit by Ghost Freak here. Putting the ult onto Amoeba and the Victor here. Victor finally pulling the trigger on this. Oh, okay, so that's what we're talking about. That was Zillion ult, Kindred ult, and Shen ult used. on on the support. Actually, all 4 revive abilities got used on the Renata Glass there. So now that's a pretty big use here. We'll see. Shen gets back in time. Teemo's pushing. This is going to be top turret for Teemo here. As he uses the redemption to here. We do see them jumping on this dragon here. And overall, it's a 4,000 gold lead coming out of Cal Poly. So they're definitely moving around this map really well. And Shen, like, leaving lanes in a really good state here. It's actually quite interesting because Shen is keeping the lanes in such a good state, but also, like, they're punishing Teemos for pushing heavily. Like, so he feels the pressure of, like, over pushing. I think what you need is wards around this top lane split here. Yes, after 10 long stacks, he also has a Dark Seal. Yeah, this was on his first back. He went Dark Seal blasting wall on Seabass. Like, this was something. But we do see them now attacking the Shen. Which I'm actually a full on, but it looks like there's also a fight in the mid lane as well. As Gyarados goes after Victor, and the 2v3 in the mid lane ends up getting thwarted here. So they put a lot of resources in going after eyeglasses, but now they give up mid and inhib. And is this going to be a potential end angle? I mean, it actually could be with Jinx passive here. So you see Teemo's TPing here. Big engage here by Jarvan. Gyarados gets Kindred ulted, and Zillion ulted, and there goes the Nexus. So a swift victory here for Cal Poly. After they honestly looked like they fell behind a little bit in the early game. And, you know, we seen the absolute strength of this comp. You know, 3 revives plus a Shen to help support this Jinx here. And, you know, this Roa Shen, now 100% win rate in the LOLMidwest League. So, Kaisa just not having any type of game. I liked what they drafted in the dive comp, but turns out Cal Poly was kind of ready for it. So the Kaisa really had a hard time doing her job overall. So really interesting comp from both teams. I like both comps. Just overall, I think one just kind of counters the other. I do like the thought of like the York split during the 4v1 fight. So I begin that was game 1. Game 1 of Cal Poly versus KCA. So let's go and look at the draft. Oh, I don't have to click over on this draft. Just waiting for these teams to get started on the second draft. Alrighty. And it looks like we do have a side swap. We have Cal Poly on the red side for this game too, while KCA will be on the blue side. And we already are in the past the first banning phase here, as KCA gets rid of Aatrox, Azir, and Caitlyn. Cal Poly gets rid of Thresh, Jhin, Corki, so attacking the bot lane for Cal Poly's bans. We'll see what KCA brings out here. And let's see if this gets locked in. This is a Tristana, so decent flex pick. You know, it's not something that we've seen the ADCs in this league gravitate towards. I know Mono for Small Brains has played this a few times, and I don't think anybody else has, but Cal Poly responding with an Ashe. Really just solid ADC overall. Does a little bit of everything well, but doesn't specialize in anything. And we see Cal Poly, they hovered the Neferi, but end up picking Vi. I think Vi's a really solid pick in the Tristana. Even if she tries to jump away, Vi has a lot of interruptions. So we'll see what KCA wants to build around this Tristana. I would expect something like an Enchanter maybe, just to be able to handle this Vi's damage when she does dive to the backline. Well, part of that would be also building up a really solid front line in Sejuani. So we'll see what happens here. And then we see a Poppy response coming out for KCA. Really solid response. Decent support. Decent jungle. Decent top here. Um, but just overall, a really good answer to the Vi. And then we see a Mel coming out. Alright. Um, Mel also we seen earlier today in the Scorch series. Really good into high impact press R comps uh, to a degree. Like we seen Mel reflect quite a bit of Seraphine R's. I've seen Mel reflect Ezreal, Ashe R's. Just a lot of different unique things. So KCA ends up banning the Malphite. Polly gets rid of the Syndra. Syndra being a really solid pick for KCA's mid. They also get rid of the Blitzcrank as well. I think Blitzcrank is an interesting ban. I don't think there's anything on the Cal Poly side that Blitzcrank really wants to pull in. And if you make the grave mistake of trying to pull a Mel, then I think that's something you don't want to do. And then a Braum ban coming out here. So Braum Ashe being a really prominent bot lane. We see the Melio pick coming out here. So Ashe Melio, really respectable lane. And so we know that Mel's going mid. We have seen some Mel support. And KCA pulling out a blind Asol here. Asol is a really solid answer to Mel mid. She dominates kind of the early levels, but who doesn't against Asol? But if for any reason she ever burns the E, then Asol just W and Qs at her and just absolutely cooks her. I've been on the receiving end of both sides of that matchup. It is very happy for Asol. So he just unfortunately can't like EQ the whole wave until about mid game when he can one shot the wave quickly. If he's got to burn a few seconds on the Q and keep himself stationary, then Mel just free fires at him. Then we see the Rakan coming out for KCA. So this is a puppy top. And Cal Poly hovering the Scion. I believe that did get locked in. Yep, it is a Scion that got locked in. I really like KCA's comp if they can pilot it. So, if they can get through this early to mid game and not be too far behind, there is not much, and I say not much, like there is Vi, but Vi Mel is going to have a lot of difficulties getting damage
Eventually.
onto this Asol. And Asol overall is going to have the HP
Shall return.
do something about it.
That just goes to show you're nothing but a whiskey delta.
So, you'll see how this ends up going here. Let me update this. Cal Poly. Grab the first game. Here we go. So, Poppy and the Scion. Poppy really does not mind that matchup. When Scion charges the Q, she can just E into him. guarantee a boatload of damage with the Q, because I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of like 12 to 15% max health, percentage health on the Poppy Q. So it's a lot of damage, I know that. But uh, we've seen Acel like quite a bit in this league here, and you're starting to see it creep up in popularity, especially in front to back comps, which I would kind of consider what KCA drafted it has intentions of playing front to back. So if this Acel gets behind though, there's not a very strong uh, mid game coming out here because Acel kind of starts picking up steam with items in the mid game when Tristana's mid game dips a little bit. So we'll end up seeing how this goes. For anybody still in the chat, which side of the draft do you favor? I think both are fairly front to backish kind of comps here. So we're just gonna mute here for a sec while I do some other stuff, and we'll come back once the spectator delay passes. But yeah, let me know in the chat, what do you guys think about this? And here we go with game 2 of Cal Poly versus KCA. Cal Poly is up 1-0.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Is that a first strike Scion, by the way?
30 seconds until
Okay,
minions
this top
spawn.
laner is cooking.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, this is not only like call start Scion, but first strike Scion. I didn't even like see this on the load up screen. What else did he take? First strike into, I think that's resolve, right? Yeah, demolish overgrowth. Okay, this guy's been cooking. Alright, here we go. I want to see this build. Because, like, first it was Blasting Wand, Roa, Redemption. Oh, we see a level 2 coming out here for KCA. See, Jubilatory has to flash, but it might not be enough. Oh my, what a well use of the summoner spells. You got Exhaust, Barrier, and Flash out of the bot lane getting used here. Wait, Aerie on Asol too? Okay. I'm completely lost here. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, Eyeglass has a ward in his top brush, so. Decent trade by Teemo's there, but takes a turret shot, so we'll see how this ends up going here. Tickle wasting a lot of mana here in the mid lane here. I don't really think he's playing this low enough. He is down 10 CS, but I think he's trying his hardest to get this wave pushed in, but it's not going to happen. So, Vi coming top side. Well, nope, on the ward, backing on a ward here. And potential solo kill. Nope, Gojo ends up backing off here. Jubilatory eating a boatload of poke here. Nice sidestep overall. See, and that's a first blood coming out of KCA's bot lane here, so Golden Sunset really popping on this Tristana here. Sorry about that. Had to mute for a sneeze here. We're seeing Mana Crystal Ruby. Is this guy building Roa on Scion too? No way. What? Okay. I'm not. I'm gonna wait and see, but I'm seeing potentially a Roa on the Scion. I don't understand how I feel about this. So XDD getting this early Mountain Drake is absolutely, in my opinion, like massive. Only because like you have the scaling comp. We had first strike coming up here for Eyeglasses as he burned the ult here, and he ends up getting the solo kill on the Teemos after both of them flashing as well. So Eyeglasses popping off this the series overall here. This is this is gonna be a Roa Scion. Okay, who let this guy cook? Like who on Cal Poly's just like, yeah, this is great, play it. Okay. I mean, I don't have any context on what Scion's AP scalings are. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me. Yeah, Eyeglasses is just like, his favorite item is Roa, which means he really hated this patch when it got nerfed. Oh! What an interaction by Gyarados! He gets pelted away with the Poppy ult. Just the ult and dodge it. Oh my. What a play by Gyarados here. Alright. Somebody ping mono here. XDD though, I think getting one back here on Eyeglass. Eyeglass at least did get the turret. Oh, but a nice gank from the bot lane here. From KCA. And they do end up picking up the feats of warfare here. He has AP ratios on his W and his E. Okay. I would have, I could see the W. I'd have never guessed his E had an AP ratio, but no one really looks at the E for damage anyway. You're just kicking and slowing. Okay. So, maybe Eyeglasses is the reason Roa got, like, nerfed. They aren't good ones? Well, okay. This dude loves Roa. So, I don't even know where to go. I'm just gonna shut up and cast, I guess. But Scion putting in like some work here in this top lane matchup. But the rest of the map by KCA has had a really good early game here. This Roa just keeps sticking out. Just go Heartsteel, right? Like it's 1, 2, just 3 melees. Heartsteel has value. I have seen it was tier on Acel. I'm down with the tier. I don't think it has tremendous value here, but I know it makes people feel comfy overall. I did not catch that after the top lane kill they got grubs. So 3 grubs going over to the side of Cal Poly is pretty big there, especially the Scion starts going more offensive. Actually, that was a kill angle after that E, because you're full Rylai's, you're just you're chasing them down on this. But Gyarados getting centered out here. He's putting up a hell of a fight here. Mel having a big ult. Here's Acel just sitting there, just breathing on it. Gojo, nice Acel W so far. Gojo's gonna fall here, so well played by this Acel overall. But we see Teemos up here now pushing away Eyeglass. So this Roa not coming in handy here. Ghost Freak having to use the Q here onto the Acel here to stop the flight. Yeah, this early Riley's pickup here on this Acel was massive in that fight. Golden Sunset going after Jubilatory here. Oh, Campbell Amoeba fails the jump over the wall. Wait, is that? Okay, I'm down with this. Cook Mikhail's Blessing first on the Rakan here for the Ash ult. I'm down with that. That's actually very clever. It's not an item you typically see rush that often. Yeah, Dark Seal on Scion. He's fully teching into the AP here. Like, this is what he did on Shen, actually. I mean, it was Shen, so he has like respectable AP scaling on his ult, just not the tankiest option. Shen also doesn't use the mana at all. I mean, could we have low-key, like, cooked this a little bit better and went, like, tier Roa Winter's approach? Oh, well, that was interesting. We end up getting the Scion out, but Gyarados using the tech again with the ult. Acel sitting on big ult here. You can fly at him, like you beat him in this 1v1. Scion does get first turret off of that first blood here. Deadman's played first on Poppy is quite interesting here. Okay, we're just full cooking here. XDD kind of pressuring with Teemos there to get Vi off the Rift Herald. Okay, so it's not Roar Redemption Scion. That's good. We could have a massive engage here on the mid wave. You know, Aso's big enough that they can fly forward, pull this ult. Campbell just being an asshole, stopping this back. So, Vi ends up getting the Rift Herald here. Alright, big ult coming out for the Aso here at the start of this fight. Scion did TP in, got a really solid ult. This Ashe is really spacing quite well here. Nobody falls on this fight. We do have a TP coming in from Teemos here. So, let's see what happens after all of this. That's actually a big Scion shield. What the hell? You know, overall, KCA doing a really solid job putting up a fight here. Aso better. Okay, so Aso's going to TP. Nice turn onto the Scion overall here. See, Aso does have a route into the back. And now they're pincering this. They might turn on this Aso. The rest of the team's not there. Now they're going on the Gojo. Teemos ends up pelting Mel away. And Vi is in the back line here. Jungler is down for the side of KCA. Really nice patience on Poppy not to get the Mel ult deflected. What? The Vi followed Rakan when he E'd to Tristana and that killed her. Well, that was not something I was expecting to see. Oh, they end up taking care of Gojo here. Oh, look at this 2v3 underneath the turret here. Jubilatory is coming down. But now this gives XDD time to get to this dragon fight. Well played, honestly, by both teams on the turn. But KCA putting up a really insane fight here in this game too. You know, they're still down about 4,000 in gold, but they're putting up a hell of a fight. The Hex Gates means that this Vi's going to get here. Oh, okay, so she stopped the Wolves. So they're giving this Dragon. And this is third Dragon Soul Point on an ASOL team, by the way. So this is absolutely massive. This does give them feats of strength as well. So this is actually really good game state for KCA. Let's see if they could force a game 3 here. Yeah, Meows. That whole sequence was super gross. Okay. I don't even know what this item is. Trailblazer? Okay. Fuck, I didn't even know that item was in the game. Why do I feel like there's just so many better items? I don't know. I know nothing of what this item is. Ashol comes out, hits XDD here. Sidesteps the Scion ult, but Scion gets belted away. And that's kind of the end of that fight there. So, nice skirmish again. Flash beam burned by Rakan here after the fight with Scion, so I didn't even stacks. Okay. It just moves quicker, has health and armor. Okay. No clue about that item. I feel like with the ASOL comp, I don't want to say being ahead. Like they're not ahead. They're down 3,000 gold, but you're on Soul Point, and you're the primary like front line for this team comp. The fact you haven't built like a little bit of MR is a little insane in my opinion. I'm willing to see where this goes. Yeah, that Scion shield's actually getting kind of fat. I think it scales with health too. So, yeah. I guess it's for the slow. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Oh. This is a weird one. I know like the traditional Scion. I know the Bruiser Scion. Roa Trailblazer Scion was not something I thought I was gonna have to do research on. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Trailblazer, so builds up movement speed, just 20 movement speed, so not like an insane amount. Creates a trail, at max speed creates a trail, equal to 15% of yours. He didn't even go Swifties. If you're melee, your next attack slows. Okay, I mean, yeah, your next attack slows, but you're basically guaranteeing that you're using it on Poppy or Sejuani, because they're the ones in your face. You're never going to get in melee range of Aesol, in my opinion. So, you're never going to get in melee range of the carries, the people you want to slow. So, I'm not sure. They did leave him down at bot lane. We do have a TP coming right into this ward here. Well, Aesol ult does kind of get whiffed here, but Vi dives the backline. Vi's going to fall here. Rakan's kind of tying up the backline here until the rest of the team go here. Ghost Freak potentially falling. Oh, but a massive ult coming out for the side of... wait. What? I thought Scion was TPing. I completely missed what happened on that. Unless Sion's TP got canceled is the only thing that makes sense. But either way, Dragon Fight ends up just kind of being a 50-50. Ended up being a 2 for 3, I believe. but I think you fight there after that second turret shot, personally. But I don't know. And I'm seeing now Frozen Heart coming out. Now I definitely feel like you got to build Winter's Approach, but it's too late for that. This Winter Approach is going to give you a boatload of health, and the shield's going to be massive. Well, now we see the first piece of MR coming out of Eyeglasses here. I'm just completely confused on his build. I mean, respect him all to hell. He's a great top laner. I gotta find out this tech. But we see them getting this first dragon here for the side of Cal Poly, which is perfectly fine. I mean, Aesol gets to 3 items here, then he's definitely going to feel tanky enough to withstand Vi's onslaught here. You know, 11 to 11, 3 dragons to 1, about 5,000 gold up for... okay, so Poppy TP'd out and then stopped Sion from TPing in. That is hilarious. Also, like, go after this Mel. Look at the damage you just did here. I think you fly forward and you're one-shotting this Mel. Like, Mel is... this is why Aesol counters Mel. Because once she uses the E, you just cannot be stopped flying at her. So, still, Otacon is on the table, by the way, as well. We haven't even brought that up. So, see what ends up happening. Now they're going on the Eyeglass, which, regardless of what I think about this build, Eyeglass is still, like, tanky as hell. But getting CC'd until he grows a couple gray hairs and still walks away. And now we have a TP by Gojo to come in and help. The rest of the team is here. Nice sidestep by Campbell, but the rest of the top side of the map is getting attacked here. Could potentially see a Mel ult. Oh, nice, nice ult in by Rakan to help out. Timos ends up falling. XTD ends up falling. But we have Aesol pushing this bot wave, which actually let him have this bot wave. I think you go for the Baron here, because the Baron's the only thing that's going to help you push against this Aesol. Aesol, I believe, is sitting... yeah, Aesol is on big ult here. We see Tristana pushing the mid wave here. So, Aesol potentially could TP to this fight, get the big ult, and stall this Baron out. But they end up getting Baron, which is perfectly fine. Aesol's got Seraph's Embrace as well, so you're seeing 3 items on both mid laners. Golden Sunset ends up getting now 3 items plus upgraded boots. So this Tristana is kind of through her lull in the mid game, and now starting to scale to this late game here. Shit. She built Burn and was burning more than Aesol was. And big fight here coming out. Aesol can just sit here and get stacks for days onto this Scion. See, Aesol Q's coming back up. Here we go. And yeah, so Tickle ends up getting a massive amount of Aesol stacks, which is actually super. And he's double dipping on the E and Q stacks as well. But now they're pushing this mid lane here. Aesol's sitting at 265 on the stacks, so actually Aesol really behind on the stacks. I would not have expected that. But now mid and hip down. Aesol's got to back. I don't know what stopped it. But now Aesol gets to stack off this mid wave for free. Or if they siege top lanes, stacks off top lane for free here. So Aesol being one of the best like anti-siege champs in the game, especially if you have limited to no access to it. So, Gojo having a nice route here, using the W movement speed to get away. And I'll be perfectly honest, like, it's so late in the game, you can 3-man Otacon here if you leave Aesol, Sejuani, and I don't know, Rakan there. Like Poppy Tristana can melt this Otacon quite well. The Otacon I think is a little less tankier this patch, but also doesn't do the damage. Oh my god. Okay, this Scion is like really tanky now. We see the Abyssal Mask coming out, which I think that's one of the more underrated items here. So let's see what now happens. We have Dragon Fight coming up, and this is the point in time where whoever loses this Dragon Fight also loses Otacon here. Eyeglass is doing a really good job just keeping this pry on this mid wave, but Acel is, of course, Acel. So, Dragon up here. Acel does have big ult. Eyeglass kind of zoning off Tristana here. Acel is on the top side here. XDD and Teemos are here. Big knockback here. See if they can get on top of Gyarados. They do knock up Gyarados here. Otacon putting his 2 cents in the fight as well here. This Tickle's gonna go down. Golden ends up running forward. Oh my god, and he gets taken out by the Scion passive. Oh, what a messy fight all the way around. Jungler's still up for KCA. Has Smite up. They have a ward to see this. Vision brought to you by Ash. So let's see. Are they seriously going to try this with the jungler here? XDD comes into the back part here, but is going to end up. Oh, but here's Tickle burning potentially Ghost Freak. And, okay, well played by Cal Poly. You know, I think Acel could have played that a lot slower, but I respect the attempt. Excuse me. We see this this Otacon getting chipped down quite a bit. So I love the fact that like Cal Poly isn't backing down, even though like their comp is slowly getting chipped away and outscaled here. I do like what Eyeglasses has been doing on this side lane here. Is he's up 3 levels onto Teemos. That's a pretty big silent shield, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe there is some tech to this. I still think you keep pushing the envelope with that 1v1 against Mel. Like, you're at this point where you really win this 1v1. But let's see. Acel's up to 311 charge. So again, kind of behind the 10 stack a minute you want to get. But overall still scaling endlessly. And now I think our next big fight's going to be over Baron. Yeah, Hextech Drake up in 2.5. This stream can still go any redemption. Or any direction. Redemption for Sun. No, that is a Knight's Vow. Knight's Vow, I respect the Knight's Vow on like top lane tanks. Like that is an underrated item when you get to a late game on tanks. Especially like Scion just has so much health that he can tank quite a bit of the true damage. I think it's yeah, we only got 5,000 HP on the Scion, so again, not the tankiest thing, but you know, Teemos can all of a sudden now like never stop the Scion from pushing. Scion burns ult here, which is, I mean, I think solid. You TP to this top side. Now I think you have to force a fight here because the Scion's going to eventually take this bot side. You got to force Scion TP somehow. Starting up this Baron will do it. BT on Tristana's going to feel really well. Oh, big Ashe ult on the Tickle here. Oh, but he ends up ulting shutdown. Vi ults Aesol as he flies away. So now this fight's all on Golden Sunset here. Oh, he doesn't get the kill onto Gojo. Oh, he does, but he ends up falling as well. And now we have a tank v tank fight, 3v2. Scion ult comes back up, which is massive here. And Vi's kind of putting in a lot of work here with this Black Cleaver. This might be a generational Scion build. Look, it's a build. Generational. We might have to talk to our top lane buddies about that. Rurika, maybe drag Dippy over. I wanna hear his thoughts on this. But overall, just an insane fight here. These teams are just going at it. Heartsteel stacks coming out for Sejuani. The Scion has to ult away. Aesol just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But again, he's just a little behind on the stacks here. Which is what I think's really stopping him from putting out like a lot more damage. But again, this is Soul Point. Oh, but Jubilatory gets targeted here, and he ends up falling here, and Ghost Freak ends up falling as well, and this could be Soul Dragon on the side of KCA here. Just massive. Vi's coming in here. They're trying to stop Vi from getting in. Gyarados has to walk through everything. Might be able to take out Aesol here. Does not. Oh, the crit autos end up getting reflected. And one shot's golden here. XDD is still on the dragon. No, they ended up getting the dragon. Eyeglass gets booted out to his own minion wave. Well, Poppy is putting up every fight that she can to stop the Scion from pushing here. Dippy with the bed. Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't know Aesol turned into a spaceship on that back. I just never see it skin. Oh, built the death cap on Aesol. You need some pen, I think. I really think you need some pen here. Like, you have double MR items, you know, out of Scion. You have triple MR items. Now, Scion sold the Roa, by the way, guys. Scion sold the Roa. He got what he wanted out of it. Sold the Roa for, I believe, Unending Despair or Spirit Visage. Now what's he selling now? He sold Roa and boots, by the way. Like, Scion, no boots. He's full 6 items. No, bring back the Roa. Yeah, we all want the Roa. 18 stacks on Gojo for this Mel. But Gojo kind of put a point to Golden Sun that, like, you can't just dive on me. You're going to eat all these crit autos. I think you absolutely need some kind of pen on this Aesol now. Like, this feels bad. Like, you're eventually going to burn through it, but not quick enough. I don't like this death cap here. Aesol doesn't have the greatest amount of AP ratio. Oh my god, okay. The ball special. Well, I mean, he's got to respect Golden Sunset now. He's seen how much damage that Eyeglass took here. Eyeglass sitting at half health, getting healed up. which is improved by Spirit Visage. So we'll see what happens here. You gotta push out these mid waves because Scion has TP. He could TP for the back door. Oh my god. We're at this point now where this gold lead doesn't really do too much here. 70,000 gold. We're starting to get into full build territory for some of these carries here. We see Golden Sunset's full 6 items, upgraded boots. We see Campbell's is basically full build. Still has to upgrade the boots though. Acel's got to get out of here. Oh, he curved the W? Actually, that's not good. Oh, the stopwatch. Okay, I see you. And this is a fat Sejuani for a front line here. Oh, and Eyeglasses ends up flashing into the enemy team. And that could potentially be Baron here. Gojo's W is going to be very much back up. Oh, Q's the ground. So you feel the pressure coming out of these teams here. Oh my god. That could have been a reflected Poppy ult, but Sejuani ult stuns her, so she can't proc W. Actually massive there. Because Poppy ult gets deflected. That's at least 2 to 3 people getting sent back. Alright. And this is now a 2,000 gold lead for the side of Cal Poly. And that's now a 42-minute game. Feels like it's been longer than that. Alright, Eyeglass, what are you doing with your build? Alright, I think he was going to buy something, but undid. Because I didn't see Trailblazer there first. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this Sejuani can definitely face check now. Like, she is 4 full items, unending, kinetic Ruker and Heart Steel. Like, this Sejuani is really, really big now. 4,800 on the HP. Oh, but an Asho comes and gets the Acel here. Oh my god, this could be the game changer here. Golden Sunset trying to do... Oh, massive knockup by the Rakan here, by the way. Golden Sunset free firing, but having a hard time getting through his front line. Oh, but takes out Gyarados here. Oh, and Golden Sunset is madmanning this. Oh my god, what a double kill. Holy shit. What an absolute madman. Jumps in, flashes away from Eyeglass, and a quadra kill coming out from Golden Sunset here. Don't go for the penta, go for the end, guys. Gojo is the last one standing. Oh man, somebody tag Mono in that clip. There's one for the week 3 highlights. And an ace and a win coming for KCA and a 43-minute banger to take us to game 3. Okay, so for game 3, what else can Eyeglass build Roa on is the first question we gotta ask. Oh my, what a game. Oh, I gotta ping Mono for that play. I gotta represent Golden Sunset for that insane dive in. That makes me think of Julia's flashing the Nexus. What was that? A split or two ago on Sivir, where she got a double kill and got her team the win. If she's still in chat. Yeah, I remember that too. Roa Aatrox incoming. Bro, if I see Roa on Aatrox, I'm done. I'm done. I may close the stream. Roa Yumi top. That makes more sense than Roa Shen. We've seen Roa Shin into Redemption, which the Roa Shin, I think I'm being a little harsh on it. It does make a little bit of sense because the AP scaling on the ult. I will give you that. Being a little tough on that. But the Roa Scion, that was something.
Mrs. Booker, I'm Special Agent in charge Hannah Wells. Mr. Brennan, what's going on? How are you doing? You okay?
So let's go over to the draft. I do believe they swapped sides here. And I have a sneaking suspicion on something else I have to look up before I say it on the cast. Alright, let's pull this up real quick. Let me go to spectate. Let me see real quick. I'm sorry, I did get a touch sidetrack. So KCA had a very competitive 2-0 against Just for Fun. And KCA also had a really competitive 2-0 against John Bucket. So that is KCA's first map win of the split. That is also Cal Poly's first map win of the split. So we have two 0-2 teams going at it to try and get their first series win here. Both teams got their first map wins this series already. We have an absolute, massive, massive game 3 coming here. No pressure, but game 3s have been random sometimes. But I think this one's going to be a banger. I do think it's going to be something here. So, let me. The only thing I'm not a fan of is I got to refresh this draft, it feels like. Alrighty here. Sorry if I was a little delayed. I was hyping up that play from Golden Sunset to our boy Mono, who does the weekly plays here. Gotta love shout out to Mono for doing that. He's absolutely goated for that. So we have the draft started for game 3 here. If Julia or uh Rika, if you want to join me for this draft, that's perfectly fine. You know, I have a room open. If you just want to tune in, just talk draft for me. All right. So let's kind of go through the ADCs kind of getting targeted here. We have Jin, Corky, Caitlyn being taken out. So the ADs for both sides decide to early pick them before they get banned out here. Um, Julia, you were saying your casting was better, so I just wanted to give you an outlet to talk draft. Um, but we see Sivir and Ezreal getting taken off the board, and then KCA ends up bringing out the Pantheon here. Not sure if there's going to be support, top, or jungle. We have seen it being played in all 3 roles this split so far. Too much screaming in our series. What, did Rurika pick Fizz again? Um, we see Cal Poly pulling out the Hui. Cal Poly's Gojo's has a very, very good Hui. Um, so we see the Nefiri coming out as well here.
I have to agree with you on this precedent. Evil appearances of people who know their surprises.
We do see a Talia response here on the side of on KCA. So really solid. Like, it looks like comfort picks for the most part coming out. We'll see what we've seen Gyarados on the Nefir a few times. I think this split already. So, but these even though these are comfort picks, they might not be the most practiced picks because we're so deep into Fearless. I say that and it's a best of 3, but you know this is an amateur league, so there's going to be a lot of people pushing their comfort levels a little bit. We see the Cassante getting banned out, Malphite getting banned out here, so targeting the top laners a little bit. Braum also gets banned out, so Braum Thresh off the table as well, so the support pool getting pinched just a little bit here. Tom Kench also getting banned out. So let's see what we got here. There is a chance that now could become a flex to Pantheon support with, well, I say that now, they're hovering Lulu. So Lulu plus Sivir, pretty solid lane. Sivir really does a lot of pushing. Lulu doesn't do the best job of like getting her out of trouble, especially when it comes to like ganks. But it's still a late game hyper carry ADC with an enchanter behind her, so it's still a duo that works together quite well. And now Cal Poly has their response here on B4, B5. Let's see what they go after. And this is going to be a Blitzcrank. So again, this is the second Blitzcrank we've seen tonight. And Blitzcrank was 0-1 in that last series.
Hi, Senator. Enjoying the festivities very much. Listen, I wanted to thank you. Your intelligence and
and we have an Orin now coming out. So matching a little bit of the late game scaling here, Eyeglass ends up going a late game super tank and Orin. But he is the only front line here, but I think that's perfectly fine. And are we gonna get this? I think we've seen Timos play this earlier in the split in a Nasus. Oh, that is infinitely much worse to deal with. That is a Mordekaiser. Roa. I, you know what? Low key, I think Roa Orin might work just because it gets Orin an extra level towards his upgrade. I mean, I'm stretching it here, but give me that much. Um, it's just also like Roa Orin's going to just absolutely get one shot by this Mordekaiser with zero resistances. Like he's gonna get taken to Brazil and then just his head beat in with a mace. So, um, I'm looking forward to the row. I'm a firm believer in the almighty row. I mean, uh,
But we can't challenge a pretended violation of federal statute, which effectively forbids military action against an American citizen. He's an American citizen on American soil.
oh man, I I will say this has been one of the more exciting series to cast.
Any
Uh,
purpose by definition of construction. That's dictatorship, not democracy.
all right, so here we go with a very hyped, very important Game 3 of a 1-1 series between KCA and Cal Poly.
Your emperor shall return.
So let me go back here to the draft. I just want to just look at
Sure
it
you're nothing
again.
but a whiskey delta.
So obviously we know Mordekaiser is kind of a nightmare to deal with for Ornn, unless Ornn gets like really ahead of the MR curve. Um, Ornn having a lot of MR also makes it hard for Talia to punch through it. So this Ornn is going to get respectively tanky. Blitzcrank is a big wild card here. If they have some deep wards, Blitzcrank can change a lot in this game. Nefiri versus Pantheon. I think Pantheon, if he has the drop, can definitely do something in Nefiri, as long as he doesn't W one of the dogs, because that I've seen in my solo queue games. Um, is that one? That one's also going to be interesting. Hui versus Talia. I mean, I like the distance Hui can attack team comps at. Like, he is a pseudo poke mage in that regard, and that really does create a lot of trouble for Talia. But Talia does have an early push and can roam. My only concern for the KCA comp specifically is they don't have enough CC diving onto this Ezreal to lock him down. And overall, they're not as fundamentally tanky. So if Blitzcrank hooks somebody, they just perma-die no matter what. Likewise for the Cal Poly comp, if they do get behind the curve, they lack a lot of damage. And especially if Lulu gets to that 2-3 item break point where her shields can't be broken, then I think you have to go something like a Serpent's Fang on either Ezreal or Naafiri just to be able to punch through it. So this will be quite interesting. Hui gets to late game, he starts to fall off quite a bit, but Ornn items help out that dip. Sivir, though, Sivir's going to be really hard to deal with. But low-key, Naafiri dogs, because there's so many of them. I don't think they get one shot, so they do soak up some of the boomerang bounces a little bit. So all in all, this is going to be a very interesting game overall. Whoever gets ahead, I think, really stays ahead here, unless they really throw a team fight. Truly can't wait for you to see the series we just played. I have informed Mr. Harewick that I will be casting over the replay of your guys' series tomorrow, and might cast over another Tuesday. Depends. We'll see. Or Harewick will cast over one on Tuesday. But either way, these VODs will go out, and we will make sure that all the series today get showcased. So, but yeah, I think you guys are the only other 3-game series here. So we will do our best to cast it. I don't want to make any promises, but my intent is to cast over that replay, Julia. But everybody wants their series cast, which I can understandably. You know, I can see it, but so we'll end up seeing we'll just end up seeing what happens there. And here we go. Alright, thanks for chilling in, Meow's Fire. Are you a part of the Midwest League, or you just a fan and a viewer? So I don't recognize the tag if you are part of the league. But no, everybody's Twitch tags are a little bit different.
Yeah, Lloyd moving past the tunnels, and if he went to the tunnel, it's a desperate plan.
Yep, Timo's on the board. Okay, Eyeglass.
30 seconds until
Come on,
minions
bro.
spawn.
It's first strike Orin. Like, bro, who let this guy cook? It's freaking first strike Orin. It's the same rune page. Ah, no, he's got conditioning instead of demolish. But, oh my god, he's running first strike, cash back in the triple tonic. This guy's going full econ. He's playing TFT and going full econ here, boys.
Summoner has disconnected.
Oh my god. I dig it. I'm gonna ask Brandino, Dippy, Vic
A summoner has
on
disconnected.
all of this
A summoner has disconnected.
about this, man. This bro taking hedge fund in the middle of a Summoner's Rift game.
You know, I know what the problem is. President read stuff material and he had a heart attack.
Very nice. Thank you, guys. See you in there. Hey, show's about to start. People are getting restless after you promoted the president just now. You can pick up. What's really so if he's going around and he's still in my hand.
Man.
A summoner has reconnected.
Authorize the use of military force against civilians and requires simple statutory construction. The Posse Comitatus is clear. The military cannot enforce civilian laws. The military may not use force against our populace because Congress feared a military state, an abuse of military power.
I was part of the League of Legends under minimum talent for 1 season. Oh, okay. I did sub against you guys. Yeah, yeah. I remember MT from a couple splits ago. Yeah, you guys were super cool. I know things didn't go your guys' way in the league, but you know, you guys stayed on and um you know, much love and respect for you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I remember MT. That's cool, man. I'm glad you stayed on. Watch this, and you know, hopefully you guys come back. You know, and just play. Yeah, yeah. That I mean, I was super. It was the one split I cast, and you know, I'm glad Hairwick reached out to you guys and kind of explained what could happen. And you know what, you guys played your hearts out, and you know, I know things didn't go your guys' way, but you know, I'm much respect for you guys finishing the whole split. So yeah, nothing but love for you guys, man. That was good stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to have this camera centered in on eyeglasses here. I know it sounds like I don't want to say like I'm flaming this guy or anything, but like I gotta respect the cojones. Like you're running, you, first strike cash back on Orin, went Roa on the last 2 champs you played. Yeah, much love, man. Have a good one. So, I think did you take? It didn't. Okay. So first hook by Ghost Freak ends up going a little wide here. Nice trade overall. Nice trade here by Gojo in the mid lane. He's getting a little bit of a push in, so I don't. Ghost Freak ends up hitting a minion here, but Eyeglasses, the first strike, actually put in work here in the early game a little bit. So we did see a potential 3v3 in the bot lane, but XDD was there to help out. Teemos is actually falling really low to minions here. But Ghost Freak has it on a ward. Oh! Golden Sunset with a really nice spell shield to tank 2 abilities by Ezreal there. Hooks Campbell here. Bone Plating is going to do a lot of work. Shield, heal coming out here. And Campbell's going to be really good overall here. Spell Shield didn't get much value here. Just notice a Jubilatory brought lethal tempo here on this Ezreal. So that's an interesting choice. I see double Ruby Crystal here. Eyeglasses is teasing it. Could be Aroa. Nice hook again by Ghost Freak. Golden Sunset gets, again, no value out of the spell shield, but Campbell ends up shielding him, so, you know, nice, overall, nice trades getting returned to by KCA's bot lane. See the first round of TPs coming out from the mid laners here. Early tier Mana Crystal coming out of Talia. Jubilatory taking a little bit of damage here from not only the Ricochet but the Lulu. Do you see a Lost Chapter coming out of Fue? The fact that you got the Lost Chapter pretty early is big for his push. And we see... Alright, we see a lane swap coming out here as Blitz is kind of on the map now roaming, and Ezreal is coming up top lane. Oh, nice ult by Teemos here. This is kind of where Ornn really is not a big fan of this matchup. Oh, and that's first blood going over the Teemos, as he had Nefiri also behind him as well. So big trade here, but well played by Teemos overall. We got a Roa on Ornn, guys. Oh my lord. What does he not build Roa on is my question now. Okay. We do see Ghost Freak coming in here. Well played by Tickle. I came back for the row. Okay, good night.
Take this.
Big hook coming out of Ghost Freak here. Ends up getting Tickle. Jubilatory doing what he can to poke out Teemos here. But we see Pantheon coming through here. Mordekaiser ult not up yet. Jubilatory ends up burning the E. And Flash, actually. Ghost Freak misses the hook. So really well done by the by XDD coming up here, covering his top laner. Here's the one thing that's like honestly kind of weird is if you're going to go Roa on eyeglasses, like I get it, you know, if that is the tech you want to, oh, big knockup actually, if that's the tech you want to go, but you're going to be like so behind on resources because now you're weak side against a duo lane here. Like we just seen you get pushed out of lane, so you're going to be super delayed to your Roa, I feel like. But now we see Jubilatory coming down. Cal Poly ends up getting the grubs. So I will give Eyeglasses credit. He's consistent in what he builds. I mean, can you build Roa? No. All right, I can play you. Nice push overall by Gojo. He ends up taking a turret shot. Shield has a little bit of effectiveness, but not too much here. Tickle's taking a lot of pressure here. Down about 20 CS, so this mid lane's going really well for Cal Poly. Jungle actually going really well as well, with Gyarados being up 20 or so. But bot lane is fairly even. Top lane, again, in favor of Teemos here. So, I do think there's a world where Teemos, if he like freezes this lane, Eyeglasses never gets to touch this lane. But we'll see if he can do that. Taking a massive amount of damage here. He still does not have enough back for a blasting one. We're at 10 minutes. Oh, we see Gojo making some plays here in the mid lane. And he ends up getting dove on, but Pantheon oversold the ult just a little bit here. Gyarados is in the wait here. Ezreal tried to snipe Tickle as well, so well played honestly by Tickle to dodge the Hui QW coming down here. Hui going the double burn. Let's get an update. So he's close now. We do see Golden Sunset popping the ult here. Gojo is going to end up falling, and that's a shutdown here. Oh my god, nice spell shield. Golden Sunset having a fantastic series overall, especially that game 2. Tickle ends up going bot lane, which is fine. Talia has a fairly high amount of movement speed here. Go Freak, you're gonna take a boatload of damage here, my friend. We do finally see a blasting wand coming out of Eyeglasses here. So let's see how quickly he can get to this Roa. He's about a quarter of the way there to the combined cost. I believe it is a 450 cost after the 2 component items. But we see full Rylai's coming out of this Mordekaiser here, so Teemos is going to be able to definitely like try and freeze this wave and delay this Ornn even more here. He's not going to get Roa until about the 13.5 minute mark, maybe even 14, depending on you know, how much of the next couple waves he gets, assuming he doesn't get all in here. See a flash coming out of XDD. Goldfreak ends up flashing away. Hook goes wide here. But we see a trade going on there. First strike does end up coming out, so that helps. He's now above the cost, yeah. So, yeah, you're looking at about 13.5 once he finally backs. I think Teemos, honestly, instead of walking to this dragon, just keeps the wave at this turret here. That way Eyeglasses doesn't have a chance to back your delay anymore. Oh, never mind. I forgot. It's an Orn. He can build that shit in lane. Oh, nice. Almost a decent sidestep from Tickle here. Gyarados getting jumped on here. Ezreal ult only hits one. Go Freak waiting for a Q cooldown to come here.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Ezreal trying to pelt him with abilities to burn the spell shield, but very well played by Golden Sunset. Not burn that shield, be the front line. So that's a 13.5-minute row, a touch later than he wanted it to be, but overall not too bad here. Also note that it's at least consistent with Roa Darkseal. Tickle's getting all into here by Hui. Let's see. Misses the QW, so really solid there. This first strike Orange actually like damage for damage on this Mordekaiser. Quite a bit. So we see first dragon got taken by KCA, but second dragon comes out for the side of Cal Poly. And they're really picking on Tickle here in this mid lane. Eclipse coming out for Gyarados' first item. We see Hui's already got Blackfire Torch. Tickle's on his way to a Seraph's Embrace. We see farming wise, Gyarados farmed up so much here. He's already got his smite completed here. How much is first strike? Oh, never mind. Golden Sunset with a clutch spell shield here. This might be one of the most disciplined Sivers I've ever seen. Like, just spell shields the right ability at the right time. So, Pantheon getting a touch of counter jungling in, trying to complete his smite. Gyarados is going to see that his wolves are up, but that's it. Blue buff coming up here soon. Rift Herald up, potentially getting that started. And it looks like they noticed that they are on Rift Herald. Alright, what's he doing with this Kendall Gym for Ornn? I'm just so into whatever he's building, to be honest. Oh, and here's a big Pantheon ult, but nice fear out of Gojo, actually. But really well played by Gojo. You know, fear right when Pantheon leaves, outran the Sivir ult with what I believe was a WQ for the movement speed here, and then a really disciplined flash. Golfrey getting poked down here by Tickle. Just noticed Tickle brought Electrocute. That's an interesting one. But Eyeglasses getting potentially all in here. He's actually like out damaging this Mordekaiser. This is actually crazy. XTD goes forward on the Jubilatory. Gyarados is kind of in this fight as well. Gyarados does dash all over the rocks, but looks like he took limited damage just because of the Eclipse Shield. Actually, no, it's the Merc Treads here that helped him take a little less damage there. And overall, nobody fell on that mid lane scuffle. So it's actually 3-3 here. Cal Poly is getting a pretty decent gold lead overall, about 4,000 gold. Actually, a little less than that. And they've got the feats of strength too, by the way. He got like 45 gold from that all in on first strike. Okay. I see the tech on ore. Roa into Locket. I absolutely love this Locket pickup. I do. Oh, which one does he want to upgrade? It's gonna be Locket or Roa, actually. I think you want Locket to upgrade. So, Cool Freak comes in, kind of splits the uprights there, though Golden Sunset was ready with the Spell Shield. Second item completed by Gojo, so he's well ahead of Tickle on the item thresholds here. That's not fun to pause in the middle of a trade up top lane. Alright, we have some tech issues on the side of KCA, but so I think it was on Campbell's, maybe a peripheral or something. Something may have ran out of battery or gotten unplugged. Like, it is a stressful game 3, I get it. I really feel bad for this trade up top, but you know, Timos is the one moving forward, initiating the trade, and his team's the one that paused. So, like, it feels bad, but you know, it does affect. So, we do have a new rule in about pausing on that. Yeah, warning should be issued. I do agree. I'm not in a position to issue that. Whoever was looking at that, maybe it's Herwick. But we'll see. If this does happen again, then I'm willing to elevate it and willing to do that. So, but we see Cal Poly getting this second dragon here, or the third, their second, and you know, Hextech Soul is going to be very useful for both teams. We do see Cal Poly invading here, so Pantheon falling more and more behind on this invade here. Cool Freak flashing forward. Campbell ends up flashing ahead, but then the bot lane ends up coming in. But Golden's, oh my lord, Hui Gaming. Massive return fire by Golden. Oh my, he carried this fight so hard here. Okay, Timos end up getting one in return, but lots of damage coming out of this Hui here. And Gojo absolutely carrying this fight on the Cal Poly side. And that ends up being a full team ace, 5 for 2, and what was a 4v5. And Eyeglass just sitting here hammering away at this top turret, pun intended. Ooh, my. A lot of Hui Gaming there with a boatload of AoE. EE into R was insane. But Golden Sunset sitting on 2 items here. XTD getting his jungle invaded again. Now down 50 CS and a level and a half, potentially 2 levels now to Gyarados here. So Cal Poly playing this map very, very well. Golden has to kind of stay here and match wave clear for wave clear with Gojo. We potentially have a Pantheon ult coming through. Oh, and again, a fear out of Gojo. That was absolutely insane here. Jubilatory getting pushed away. XDD is going to burn to Gojo here. I can't honestly believe I'm about to say this, but like, this could be an Ornn Tech versus Mordekaiser. Like, you just out-trade the damage. It's actually insane here. I don't know about Lockett second. Like, it's interesting. But he's just he just keeps out-trading this Mordekaiser. I mean, I don't know enough about it. Hui's TPing top while his team's on Otacon, but and Timos is going to end up falling here. Gets the Lulu ult before he goes into Death Realm here, and that's actually going to be a shutdown going over to Timos here. Insane play by Campbell, honestly, to Lulu ult Timos before he goes into the Death Realm. That actually saves the whole trade here. Campbell? Campbell. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess the good news is he got away because he blocked himself with his own Q. But you're messing with a heavyweight here. Level 15 on the Ornn. I mean, Roa gives a level that just gets you to your allies' upgrades quicker. Okay, is he going full support Ornn here? Roa, Lockett, and the Shirelias? What the actual hell? Like, your champion gets passive bonuses towards resistances. I mean, I guess the Lockett helps, but oh my god, I gotta get an interview after this game if they do, you know, end up taking the dub here. It's not set in stone yet, but I gotta. What is this tech here? Don't count Timos out. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, he's only going to continue to outscale Eyeglasses here just because of the items alone. Like, Shirelia's does absolutely nothing into Mordekaiser, even in the Death Realm, because he's just going to constantly slow you. And now Mordekaiser's on this Rift Maker here. I will say that it is 3 items to 2, even though you're on, you know, 1,000 less gold almost. So, like, that part is quite interesting, but all in all, like, he's handling Timos in the side lane here. Flash Q coming out of Campbell's here. Campbell's going to end up having the ult. Nice flash overall, but Gyarados ends up hopping over. But now Gyarados is kind of left. XDD gets hooked. And this is, I mean, like, this is a great, oh my lord, what a great flip here. Jubilatory is going to, oh my, Golden Sunset played that so well. Oh, it's so rough that he didn't get a kill, but man, Golden is in these fights. Timos ends up ulting Gyarados here. Gyarados ends up... Oh, Timos is in this fight, by the way, going after Gojo here. But Jubilatory ends up ulting him away. Golden Sunset now comes back on the side here. Oh my. These fights are so close. Eyeglasses is still bot lane. He's 5 levels up. Oh, sorry, now 4 levels up on XDD, by the way. He uses Shirelias to get the hell out. Oh, man. What is this series by Eyeglasses, by the way? So jungle's up 3 levels, mid's up 2. Jubilatory is quietly having a really good game, up 2 levels. You know, Campbell is actually up a level on Goal Freak here. You know, Eyeglasses is level 16 now. XDD ends up getting taken out by Goal Freak. Golden Sunset is basically front. Oh my lord, he is frontlining this fight. Oh my. Campbell's doing everything he can to help Golden Sunset here. Misses the knockback by Orin here. Does Golden end up falling? He doesn't. Timos ends up taking out, or taking Jubilee to Brazil, but gets taken out there. I mean, Golden Sunset is frontlining these fights and still walking away here. Yeah, Jubilatory is very fed. And now these Orin items are coming out here. Upgrade on Blackfire's Torch. Upgraded on Locket. Upgraded on Trinity Force now. Tickle ends up getting taken out here. This Blitzcrank is finding a boatload of value here. And this could be a potential end angle. Golden trying his best to have the ricochet here. Eyeglasses taking some damage from the turrets overall. Teemo's taking out every dog imaginable. See the Hex Gates coming out. That ends up being an inhib taken out. I will say though, with the inhib falling, Tickle and Golden have resources, safe access to resources here. Oh my god. Eyeglasses, what are you doing? Did you just full buy a Serpent's Fang as a tank? What? Wait, does he... His Q... His Q and E apply physical damage. Oh, it's just damaging. Okay. Oh, big fight breaking out here. Golden Sunset is going to fall after all the support from Campbell here. You see Eyeglasses ends up getting taken to Brazil here. Let's see what he is. I mean, he's actually like kind of deceivingly tanky here. And Jubilatory ends up taking him out. He goes legendaries at 8-0 and 4 here. I'm just curious. He's going to get the best of me. He already blocked 1,000 shield. Holy shit. First of all, that's an insane amount of shielding. But yeah, this dude is cooking up a build, and I'm here for all of it. Hook goes wide on the Ghoul Freak. A lot of the wave clear that Golden Sunset brought to the table is not missing, so Tickle's trying to do his best here. KCA putting up just an insane fight this whole series, but we've seen them do something. Gojo ends up getting flipped over, but the rocks weren't out quick enough to stun him here, so he's not in threat. Jubilatory E's forward. That's a ballsy E here. Golden Sunset doing the best here. Ghoul Freak looking for a Q here, but doesn't pull the trigger on it. Ult goes wide for Gojo here. Gojo's starting to lose some damage. Golden Sunset, we could potentially have a silver amount. Oh, that Ezreal damage was holy shit. Oh, we got a little bit of a touch of a downtime here. So we're looking at about 13,000 gold lead out of Cal Poly. They have all three inhibs. They are on Soul Point with Dragon up. Baron's up as well. 16-6 in kills. They also do have grubs, and they're actually splitting the objectives here. So they're 4-manning Baron while Gyarados is taking care of Dragon. XDD can't really walk in. He's definitely out-itemed here. And overall, they have done a fantastic job. Did Eyeglass just TP to that ward? Okay. I got nothing. But we do have like a quite a bit of wave clear coming out of Golden. He's at 3 items now. You see the ult coming out. A nice redirect on the XDD here. Golden trying to do his best here. Sivir Ricochet is in effect here. XDD having to flash away. Gyarados diving here. Golden Sunset taking out potentially Jubilator. Oh, what an insane spell shield. And KCA, after they got Baron, aces Cal Poly in a triple kill for Golden Sunset. Oh my lord. What a base defense. Middle inhibs came up. Top and bot inhibs should be coming up soon. Base turret has about another minute and a half before it gets revived here. And, ooh, oh my. What? Holy shit. We now have redemption on eyeglasses. I don't have a... I mean, maybe. No, he's just playing absolutely out of his mind here. Like, this is insane on what he's frontlining for his team. He's doing everything. Campbell's just pressing all the buffs on him and, you know, take me to the promised land. Like, they're all jumping in Golden's backpack right now. But Cal Poly's giving them openings. Like, they don't have the greatest engage onto the Sivir either. So they have to walk through a boatload of shit to get to him. Siege starts up again. Inhib up. They're going to take it down. Three items came out from Tickle here. So it's going to respectfully... Oh, okay, they go after Tickle with a flash hook from Ghoul Freak here. XDD diving in on eyeglasses. He took a brunt of the damage. Redemption coming out from this Ornn. Yeah, you heard me right. Golden trying to do his best here. But gets sniped out by the Hui. And we have resets coming out from Gyarados here. And that's going to end up being the game for Cal Poly. So a much more disciplined, base dive out of Cal Poly here. And Cal Poly ends up taking their first series of the season against KCA in an absolute banger of a series. So, let's look up some of the details here. Oh my lord, the damage. Whew. And it looks like we might have an interview. Coming up here with Jubilatory.
Hey, what's up?
What is up, my friend? What an insane series, bro.
Thank you.
Oh, holy cow. You definitely put your stamp on that series that last game there. That was a fantastic performance on Ezreal.
Yeah, we were thinking of not playing it because we don't like picking Ezreal. be one, but it ended up working because I like playing Ezreal because it gives me a lot of like I don't know control over the game, and I can kind of like get away with inting because of his kit, but which is how I like playing. So yeah, I feel like that game went well. It was mostly Gojo though. Gojo was like Thanos that game.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely had a really good performance on the way, and I know he plays it really well, along with some of the other champions. I really haven't seen him play towards like the Nico or the Oriana that he played in Splits Pass. Is he trying to branch out champions, or you
Uh,
guys just finding some
yeah.
different comps?
I mean, to be honest, we've taken sort of this tournament as like an opportunity to sort of like practice things and play a little bit for fun. As we can maybe talk a little bit later about the the Roa, which
Bro,
was that was we can talk about that in a bit. But anyway, we've been mostly like trying to have just a good time, and after a long season, kind of just have fun. So we're playing more champs that we want to play just to practice them or have fun on them, and even though he's cracked Nico, he doesn't actually love playing it, surprisingly.
hmm,
Same with Oriana. He doesn't love playing Oriana. But he loves playing Hwei. And he loves playing Azir, which unfortunately was banned all 3 games. But yeah, we're mostly just trying to have fun.
that's fair. I can absolutely respect that. And since we already kind of touched on it, and it is now later, bro, what is your top laner like cooking?
I mean, the guy's just a genius. I don't really know what to say. I mean,
Uh,
he's
hmm,
basically just like Einstein. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I okay, because there's a couple members of the chat, especially that game one, game two, that was just like, is he overcooking or what? But does he just love Roa?
I think you know if you really do the math, right? Okay, I'm gonna try my best to do an impression of him. But if you really do the math, okay, the Roa gives you a level worth of stats, and surely that's worth like what? How much gold? Like I don't know, like
Depends on the
500,
champion.
600. So that's like getting 2 free kills by building an item. So if you think about it, Roa's OP. So
Hmm.
I
Even
rest
after
that
the
game.
nerfs?
I don't know. Maybe I can't fit him anymore. But sometimes we kind of just we're we're playing for fun. So sometimes some goofy stuff happens.
I
This series, I think, unfortunately, there was a little bit. The peanut gallery was maybe encouraging his degenerate builds a little bit much, and so we decided to to show it off 2 more times. But one thing about Robin about eyeless glasses is he will commit to the bits. He will he will never let it go.
I look, I had some top laners in here that were kind of checking it out in between games or their series or afterwards that were just like WTF. There's no way this works. Now, I will I will loosely defend Shen cuz he has an insane AP ratio. I the the Roa on fuck, I don't even remember what he played game
It was
2.
we actually noticed it, because of course he doesn't tell us
Scion.
he's gonna build it, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
so what happened, of course, is like I've always wanted to notice this. So I'm noticing he's building Rowan game 2, and I think what was he playing? He was playing something with
Scion.
Scion. That was what it
Yeah.
was. And I go, does he have a single AP ratio? And there's just a quiet pause in the call. That he goes, no. So yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have any AP ratio, but it gives you that level, and that's just how OP Rowan is, right? Doesn't matter.
I Like the one that made the most sense was Ornn. Like I said that like loading into the game, I was like, okay, Ornn does scale off levels really well. He can upgrade an item, so in a sense that level worth of stats you mentioned gets translated into 1,000 golds worth of stats if he upgrades an item. Like I get the theory behind that. The math is mathing, but the Scion one, yeah,
Well, I
mm.
mean, obviously that's we lost that game for that reason. No other reason. I definitely didn't run it down,
Bro,
but
he sold the Roa late game. I'm
it
like,
got it to you. He had level 18. He had level 18. He got it to you. But like, think about it. He got to full build because he was a level up on stats. So can't
every
argue with that.
it was 40 minutes. Everybody was level 18, my friend. But
That
look,
is true. I can't.
look, I mess with it. Like it's something. I had a couple of top laners on the side that I'm like, y'all need to check this shit out. And they were just like, there's no way this is effective. But like, yo, he brought some dubs in. I gotta give it to him. I mean, I was rough on it, but especially the Scion one. The Shen one, I'm like, what the hell's this blasting wand? Roa. Okay, Roa makes some sense. Which, by the way, before we go any further, that comp game one might be the
That was
most
disgusting.
disgusting thing
Yeah.
I've ever seen. And I will tell you right now, I thought the York pick into it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I
But they
agree.
just couldn't, they didn't. If it was anything but Kaisa, if it was like something that could keep at range, maybe even an Ezreal or a bot lane mage, I'm like, York's eventually going to run this game over. But that,
Yeah.
bro, that was one of the most disgusting comps ever. And no offense to you guys, I felt like you could have played it even more effective because there was a couple times it was like Kindred, Zillion, Shen all in the same person, and it's like it wasn't the most like a layering of it, but holy
Totally,
shit,
totally.
that was disgusting.
Yeah, that was a very much maybe an over. I mean, I guess it wasn't overcooked. I mean, it worked. I think our one weakness of that comp was we had like zero engage. It ended up working. Just I think our opponents sort of struggled to figure out how to punish us for it because it is really hard. Because obviously you can't like run into us. It's hard to
Yeah,
know how to abuse the fact we don't have an engage. But there were some times it was awkward. Like we would just kind of sit in their face and be like, "Please fight us." And eventually they would. But yeah, it was kind of disgusting. I would have been pretty frustrated if I was the guys in that game.
yeah. I was sitting here just like I think Victor has enough wave clear, and if he goes double burn, like there's not much you can do to push into it. But he didn't go double burn, and he ultimately like kept him behind, which was the major factor to it. But yeah, like Jarvan, he's just ulting to his death there, and there was a couple people in chat. It was like this comp is insane. So hats off to you guys for the theory crafting. I absolutely love the tech. So hopefully we can see it again, or um, people just don't ban that shit out because that's entertaining.
Yeah, we've been cooking the Zillion mid for a bit actually. That's something that Gojo's a bit of a connoisseur on. So if we can get to a point where people are banning the Zillion into us, I feel like we'll in our own hearts we'll have won Midwest.
Well,
Okay, that's our goal.
you're not the only one. Zillion mid was 2 for 2 today.
Oh, but other people are playing it.
Yep,
Interesting.
yep. I will. You can go and search for it, but yeah, Scorch did play the Zillion mid, and I get the feeling that it's not just a mid lane pick for them because I know their team and they love to cook almost more than you guys do.
I see. Well, hopefully we
So
get to play them. That'd be a fun match then.
that would be. But yeah, congrats on absolute banger series. That was both your first wins, or your first
Yeah.
map wins for both teams. I love exactly what KCA brought to the table. Um, just absolutely fantastic. I was glad I kind of just manned up and casted this, though. I do got to be at work in 5 hours, so
Oh man, good luck.
yeah, I'm East Coast, brother.
That's
So,
rough.
but no, congrats again. Loved seeing you guys return to the league. I love the cook. I love everything about you guys. So keep
Oh, sweet. We appreciate that.
keep it up, and hopefully we see you guys make a run for the playoffs now.
Yeah, that's the goal. All
Alrighty,
right.
my
Thanks for
friend.
having me.
Thanks.
Peace.
Peace. And that was jubilatory. The ADC for Cal Poly as they take an absolute banger of a series against KCA, 2-1, and get their first win on the season. KCA, absolute fantastic showing. I casted their first games, which I know went a little bit of rough, but they faced a powerhouse team, and then I had the fortunate time of scrimming against them, and I know they've done nothing but improve since then. I've talked to a couple of their teammates, and they're absolute fantastic people. So we love to see them around, and I want to see them keep improving. I think every team that's had a rough start is done their best to improve. We brought up Scorch earlier, who absolutely had a really really ugly first week, but then has turned it around as well. So um, yeah, there was so many more questions we could have gotten into. Maybe we can get Eyeless Glass on the podcast for a few minutes and talk about the tech. But you know, it was interesting, and I like the logic behind it. The triple tonic cash back first strike Ornn, which actually like put up a fight in lane against a Mordekaiser in a lane that I traditionally see Mordekaisers win. So as I called it, Eyeless Glasses is playing TFT. He went full econ, and it worked. So I dig it. I love everything about it. But I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I was glad I had to get both these series in, both absolute banger series. And we will see you tomorrow. We will post up most of the VODs tomorrow or Tuesday, and go from there. But I think we're going to cast over a replay tomorrow on a on another banger series. But we'll see. Um, this is CLT just signing off for tonight. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Deuces.